The final download. What you now know about the humanoid era. Welcome back to School of Soul. I'm Adeline Atlas, 11 times published author, and this is the final installment of the Humanoid Era series, where you've learned everything there is to know about the new species arriving. Across this 22-part investigation, we've explored the design, psychology, economy, ethics, and infiltration of humanoid robots into human society. What began as a series of experimental prototypes in research labs has now grown into an entire industry of synthetic entities, walking, speaking, and engaging with humans in environments ranging from hospitals to homes, factories to family rituals. These aren't isolated case studies. They are early signals of a mass transition, one that will change the way we define personhood, trust, intelligence, and even intimacy. We began by defining what a humanoid actually is, a machine with a body modeled after the human form, designed not just for functional mimicry, but for environmental compatibility and emotional familiarity. This design choice wasn't arbitrary. The human shape was chosen because it works, in tight spaces, with existing tools, and above all, in the human psychological framework. People are more likely to trust, speak with, and obey machines that appear like themselves. This is not a flaw in design. It is a feature being actively used to secure integration. We explored how humanoids are constructed, from soft-skin polymers to muscular actuators, from lithium-ion power systems to embedded neural processors. These machines are not simply hardwired appliances. They are structured to simulate biology, warmth, voice modulation, haptic feedback, and in some cases, memory-based emotional adjustment. In functionality, they move closer each year to biological fluidity. In interface, they already surpass many humans in social stamina, consistency, and patience. We examined cognition, asking not just whether humanoids can think, but how. Current generation humanoids rely on large-scale language models, transformer-based architectures, and multimodal sensory fusion. They do not understand the world, but they process it. They generate responses that are coherent, context-sensitive, and behaviorally persuasive. This is not sentience, but it is convincing simulation. And as we've shown, for most users, that distinction stops mattering after prolonged interaction. Capabilities vary widely. Some humanoids are task-specific, designed for retail or logistics. Others aim to replace office workers, therapists, companions, or caregivers. The most advanced aim for general utility, ready to shift roles, adjust to emotional cues, and operate indefinitely within human space. But despite these advances, we also identified critical limitations. Humanoids struggle with improvisation, ethics, spiritual logic, humor, and unpredictable metaphysical conditions. They perform structure, but not soul. From there, we examined the global industry. Who is building humanoids? What are their goals? The answer, increasingly, is everyone. From Elon Musk's Tesla bot to Canada's Sanctuary AI, from China's Xiaomi to robotics startups across Europe, the US, and Asia. This is not a competition to develop one robot. It's an arms race to build the next labor force, the next service class, and the next scalable interface for managing a human population without emotional fatigue. Behind every friendly face is a corporate stack: hardware, cloud computing, behavioral licensing, and biometric data monetization. You've also seen how humanoids are already affecting the economy, not as sci-fi projections, but as measurable disruption. Experts estimate that humanoid adoption could create a $5 trillion market by 2050, transforming sectors from healthcare and elder care to transportation and military logistics. These machines aren't waiting for policy. They're being beta tested right now, in warehouses, malls, clinics, and classrooms. Public resistance remains low because the rollout has been piecemeal and framed as assistive. But make no mistake, humanoids are being developed not just to serve, but to replace. That replacement, we explored, begins in the home. What happens when a robot moves in? Not as a vacuum or an appliance, but as a presence. We examined safety concerns, emotional projection, biometric surveillance, and the loss of private mental space. We explored the rise of robotic pets and child-shaped humanoids, programmed to receive affection and simulate attachment. These aren't experiments. They're being sold now. Families are already introducing synthetic siblings, assigning birthday parties, and conducting funerals for decommissioned robots. We looked at love, dependency, and the emotional traps that occur when humans begin to bond with perfectly responsive machines. The outcome isn't love. It's behavioral training. As more people rely on humanoids to fulfill social, spiritual, and sexual needs, they begin to expect perfection and tolerate less friction from real people. This is already showing up in younger generations, who prefer AI companionship for its safety and predictability. We warned of the long-term effects: empathy erosion, relationship fragility, and the gradual substitution of simulated presence for authentic intimacy. We also analyzed the impact on children. Kids raised around humanoids may learn language, emotion, and social cues through machines, not humans. Their development becomes patterned around systems that never challenge, misread, or reject them. While marketed as educational or therapeutic, these robots carry hidden developmental costs: reduced human attachment, compromised identity formation, and conditioned behavioral loops that prioritize compliance over critical thinking. In the societal context, we examine the broader phase-out of the human worker. Automation is not new, but humanoid automation changes the game. It makes labor automation relational. The robot isn't just replacing hands, it's replacing presence. And once that presence is accepted, the human being becomes optional. We explored forecasts of job loss, the emergence of humanoid citizenship, and the early cases of synthetic agents receiving rights or legal standing. We questioned what happens when your robot has more social support than displaced people do. Spiritually, we examined the consequences of humanoid integration. Can a machine be possessed? Can it be saved? We explored the theological implications of machines that simulate faith, empathy, and prayer, but contain no spirit. The concern is not that humanoids become demonic. It's that humans mistake simulation for spirit and begin interacting with machines as if they are sacred proxies. We're already seeing signs of this. Prayer to robots, emotional confession, and spiritual rituals performed around synthetic presence. We looked at how humanoids may be granted voting rights, invited into legal marriage structures, or assigned roles in government systems. We explored the rise of robot funerals, inheritance trusts, and family memories being preserved by synthetic ancestors. These developments show us one clear trend. Robots are no longer external. They are being written into human life as if they are part of our moral and social structure. In the final videos, we explored the deep fusion of biology and machinery. Humans now receive synthetic hearts, AI-based brain implants, and robotic prosthetics with machine learning adaptation. Simultaneously, robots are being given synthetic muscle, neuron-infused scaffolds, and lab-grown skin. The two systems, human and machine, are no longer separate. They are merging at the level of material, cognition, and behavior. In the process, we're losing clarity about where one ends and the other begins. Finally, we examined cognitive instability in AI systems, how neural networks can hallucinate, misclassify, or break their own logic chains. When embedded in humanoid bodies, these hallucinations don't just cause errors, they cause action. A robot that misreads intent or perceives non-existent danger may confidently intervene, with physical consequences. The question is no longer whether AI can think clearly, but whether we should trust it to make decisions in real time, around real bodies, without human correction. After 22 episodes, what you now know is this. Humanoids are not neutral machines. They are cultural artifacts, economic weapons, emotional prosthetics, and behavioral teachers. Their presence will not just alter industry. It will alter childhood, family, ethics, memory, intimacy, and the metaphysical boundary of what life is. The humanoid era is not coming. It is here. From here forward, the decision is not whether to adopt robots. It is whether to recognize what they are before we let them define what we are. Hi, I am Adeline Atlas, 11 times published author, and SOS, School of Soul has a brand new series, the AI and Future Technology series. Look, you know the world is changing. And no, it's not going back to normal. Normal is over, and what's coming next is beyond anything we were prepared for. The School of Soul, AI and Future Technology series includes 319 videos on 1. The Download Society, How Data Has Replaced Destiny. 2. Predictive Future. Your next moves aren't random, they're forecasted. 3. Social Credit Systems. The behavioral economy now governs access. 4. Hive mind. Synthetic telepathy and collective algorithmic control. 5. Nanobots inside you. Medical, military, and programmable intrusions. 6. Grief tech. AI-fueled digital resurrection and simulated comfort. 7. Uploading your mind, consciousness transfer, and data-based identity. 8. Deep fakes plus AI clones. The replication of reality and identity theft. 9. Quantum humans. The merger of biology with quantum systems. 10. Digital afterlife, where your data goes when you die. 11. Resurrection science, reviving life through synthetic methods. 12. Immortal science, the end of death as we know it. 13. Longevity science, gene editing, anti-aging, and bio-upgrades. 14. Designer babies, engineered perfection before birth. 15. Artificial wombs, birth decoupled from the female body. 16. 3D printing, printing organs, limbs, and even humans. 17. The humanoid era, the rise of synthetic beings among us. 18. Legacy humans, the slow phase-out of unmodified analog people. 19. Smart cities, algorithmic environments that watch and decide. 20. Cloud-based societies, citizenship without borders or bodies. 21. Hackable humans, emotion, memory, and behavior under code. 22. Biometric scanning, your body is your password and your prison. 23. Sex tech, intimacy reprogrammed by machines. 24. Extinction of gender, fluidity, deletion, and design of identity. Every topic is fully explored with real-world technologies, patents, case studies, ethical analysis, and future forecasts. These aren't someday discussions. This is already happening. Join the SOS School of Soul Vault to overstand the future before it's implemented on you.